today for this this quick session on the admissions overview. I'm currently on tender hooks at the moment because my son gets his A-level results on Thursday, hoping to get him off my hands very quickly and into somebody else's hands. So I'm hoping that everybody gets the grades that they need in order to get to the university that they choose to go. So there's the chat box in the window. In the window, if you've got any questions, just type it in. And while David's doing the majority of this presentation and giving the demo, I shall be answering the questions if you've got any. So let's get straight into it. And what we're going to do today is just give you a quick 30-minute overview of the admissions process and how CRM can help. For those who haven't come across ANS before, just a quick intro. We're a 300-person company based in London and Manchester. We have a 50-50 split of public sector and private business, and that makes up our revenue. And we've been in HE a long time now. You probably see from the number of people that are on the call. We've been doing this for a little while now, so you're in good hands. One of the things that's been especially good for us this year is we're very proud of the fact that we are a finalist in the Microsoft Partner of the Year awards out of there. 25,000 partners in the UK that go after that type of award, and we're in the top 3. So that gives you nothing to live up to there, David, by the way.
Not at all.
No. So just very quickly, how we think about the higher education sector, and we've been doing this a long time, obviously. So what we get down to now is the why. Why are people looking at CRM in the higher education sector? And where we get to is these top 10 business outcomes. Now, I'm not going to go through them, and if you're interested in these and what they look like or the recording, then please talk to one of your account managers. And they'll be happy to go through them. But these are the top 10 reasons why higher education at the moment are thinking about CRM and how that can help them. And I was going to say we're fairly simple folk, but that would be an overstatement. So I'm fairly simple. So I think about the student life cycle and the student journey in terms of before they arrive, while they're here, and after they've left. And what we've done here at ANS is we've built a set of accelerators or modules around that type of student journey, before, during, after, and then also with the B2B engagement. Once again, David's just going to go through the admissions process, but if you're interested in any of the other ones, then please have a chat with your account manager. So before I hand over to David, I just thought I'd give you a quick story of a recent university that we're working with. And I don't know whether anybody's come across Teddy yet. They're a brand new university funded by Arizona, New South Wales and Kings. They're having a new campus built in the heart of London by British Land. And their sort of USP is it's engineering only. They're going to go for 50% girls, and they're not going to mandate that you have to have maths. So what's interesting about Teddy is they're a greenfield site, so they've really got no legacy. So we're helping them build the art of the possible, and they can only limited by their imagination and what we can achieve within Dynamics. So we've been building their admissions, curriculum management, enrolment, and student application for them. And what they're trying to get to, which is what a lot of people are trying to get to these days, is 360-degree view of the students and the student life cycle, from inquiry through to graduation, and most of all, trying to give a fantastic student experience. So hopefully, David's going to wow you today with one of the accelerators that we've built around the admissions. So, David, I'm going to give you the reins.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Let me just request control. Oh, not your computer.
And David, while he's doing that, David, Mr. Conway, I will certainly be sharing the deck. Don't worry.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Adam. Hopefully everyone can see my screen.
And me, David, at the bottom.
Yeah, perfect. Let's minimize you.
Yeah, for everybody's safety.
Thank you very much. Great introduction. So hi, everyone. My name is David Sabat. I'm a Dynamics pre-sales consultant at ANS. So I have the pleasure of taking you through the admissions accelerator that ANS have created. So I'm just going to give you a brief introduction about what it is, a bit of information just so you kind of know what it does as well. And then we're going to dive into the demo, and I'm going to kind of take you through two perspectives through that demo, kind of from start to finish, just to give you a good feel of what this can do for you. So what is it? This chart on the right hand side here kind of shows the levels and where this sits. So right at the bottom, we've got Power Platform. So you've got things like Power BI, Power Flow, and Power Apps. Above that, you've got the application itself. So in this case, we're using Dynamics 365 for Sales. So that's the tool that you will use. And then above that, you've got the Higher Education Accelerator. And then the ANS Accelerator that we've created specifically to streamline the admissions process. So what can it do, just in summary? Manage the student admissions process in one place to offer a streamlined experience. So there's lots of automation that we've built in, and we're going to touch on how that kind of flows from initial submission right the way through to the student accepting the offer and then being enrolled onto a course. It's very easy to customize and enhance further. So we've obviously pre-built this package to save you lots of time and effort, but if you purchase it from us, we can work with you to make enhancements, changes, tweaks, and then you can get on with it yourself and kind of look after that moving forward. And then the beauty of Dynamics 365 and a Power Platform and all those juicy bits at the bottom there is it's a powerful tool with the ability to extend functionality. So that scalability in an organization, you can start off small, and then when you want to expand on get asked, what are the challenges kind of in this environment? What are the challenges that universities are
Sorry to
experiencing with
interrupt,
the
David. Did you drop out for everyone else there, or was it just did everyone hear what David was just saying, or was it just my Wi-Fi that's gone?
No, it dropped out for me.
No,
as
he
well.
dropped out for a bit.
All right. So, David, are you all right to just backtrack? On the last slide, I think you just dropped out towards the last sort of 30 seconds of what you were saying.
No
Sorry
problem.
to interrupt, but I thought it might be interesting.
Brilliant. No, thank you. So scalability, I was referring to here, the tool itself, I referred to on the right hand side here, the Power Apps. You've got Power BI and the application itself. It's a powerful tool with the ability to extend the functionality. So as you can start off small with the application, and then if you want to start building out additional functionality and building your own Power Apps, you've got a platform that you can do that with, as and when you see fit. So current challenges, what are the current challenges that universities are facing with admissions at the moment? So they obviously want to be able to manage the application journey from initial submission right the way through to the acceptance, ideally, and then obviously that student being in the system and then being able to manage their courses that they're attending and so on and so forth. So there's no single view of the data. They've got siloed systems, maybe a system over here and a system over there dealing with that initial admissions process. And then when that process is all done, then it can transition over through to another different system. But the beauty of what we're offering is you can look after this all in one application, so Dynamics 365. There's no easy way to segment data in a granular way. So again, this is like reporting. Again, the system allows you to report and pull off views and manipulate that data in real time. And they don't have a clear understanding of why applications have not been successful. So again, capturing all this information in one application, you can report on that and understand trends and what's going on to kind of maybe approach it differently in the future. In terms of slides, that's all I wanted to really go through. What I'm going to do now is kind of go through the system from two perspectives. So a student submitting their application, so they're submitting the application to UCAS. UCAS are then passing that data over and to the university, and then the applications manager or the administrator within the university. So that's a student and then an applications administrator that's managing that application process from start to finish. So let's dive into the application. So you notice the first page that I'm presented with is this view called submitted within the last 7 days. So as I mentioned, from a student perspective, they would go onto the UCAS website, fill in all the information, Once UCAS have kind of approved that application, they will then forward it over to the relevant university. That can be ingested into Dynamics 365. And what it's going to do then is pull all that data from the application and put it into a newly created record within Dynamics 365. So from a candidate perspective, it's seamless. They submit it, away they go. What I'm going to do is walk you through one of these applications and just show you how bits and pieces string together. But before I do that, if I click on this drop down, you can see some views to break down some of those admission applications within a system. So you've got things like offer sent status, admissions on hold, and then the view that I'm currently in are newly submitted applications in a system ready for someone like the applications administrator to then pick up and work on. So here's some that I created earlier. So we've imported these in from UCAS. It's created some unique records that are associated to contacts. And what I'm going to do is click into one of these contacts. We're going to use Brian as an example. And this is where you really start digging deeper into the information that it's capturing. So you can see here, this is the UCAS information that they've populated on the website, and we've now ingested into Dynamics. You've got some information about the individual. You've got some course information. If I scroll down, you've got lots more information about that individual. On the right-hand side here, you can see as soon as this application has been submitted to the system, I don't have to lift a finger. What it's doing is automatically notifying the individual that their application has been received. So you can see here, this is a new application coming to the system. It's currently assigned to myself. It's at submitted status, and the system has automatically generated an email to that applicant to let them know that we've received their application and it's being processed. So this is a bit of automation to help with that process. As you can see, it's just pulling off some information, notifying that they've been accepted to the ANS University. Moving along the tabs at the top, I just want to touch on some of the key areas in the information is capturing there from a kind of applications administrator perspective. They're going to want to look at these applications, review them, make sure everything's okay with them, and obviously interact with that individual that submitted it. So if I click on additional info, again, this is UCAS information that's come into the system. Just an FYI, it doesn't necessarily have to come from UCAS submission. It can come from a website inquiry as well. So they could just come directly through to your website. You can go into the system and you can then manually key in a new record. So it doesn't necessarily have to come through that particular method. If I move over to education and employment, it starts capturing a bit more information about that individual. And you can see here, I can see, education that individual has been over over the past couple of years, for example. I can go over the personal statement and reference section, so I can start looking at some more information about that individual and their application. What I'm going to do is go back to the personal details section, change this submitted status to in progress. I'm going to refresh the screen. And what it's got, we've got some automation behind the scenes. So basically, when you change the status of the application, it's obviously come into the system and you're managing that application. We've got automation in there to automatically create tasks and invite the individual to opening day. So give it a few minutes and that's going to kick into place. And on the timeline section on the right here, you'll notice that obviously we've emailed the individual automatically. And what it's going to do, because I've changed the application from submitted to in progress, then what it's going to do is automatically generate some tasks in the right hand side. So we'll go over there to those in a second. What I also wanted to highlight is this business process flow at the top. So again, coming from the application's administrative perspective, so working on this application within a university, what I want to do is make sure that this application is kind of everything's needing to be captured while it's in the system. And what this business process flow does, it allows you to capture certain information at stages in order to be able to progress this application from initial submission right the way through to closure. So you can see here at the review stage, you've got, check a few of these fields. If I go to confirmation stage, it's confirming that these fields are filled in. And then at closure stage, you're just changing the status. So let's give the screen another refresh. And notice on the right-hand side, as if by magic, it's now created some automatic tasks. So without lifting a finger, and just by changing that status, it's created some tasks that I need to carry out in order to be able to progress this application. So invite them to an assessment day, and also review the application. So check some of the details in there, maybe go back to the user if there's anything missing. But yeah, that's created some automatic tasks that I could either assign to other individuals, or I can keep on my own accord, and then I can action those tasks accordingly. So you've got some options here to complete the task and so on and so forth. So what I'm going to do now is change this to offer sent. Let's hit save there. So again, as an application administrator, I'm looking at the application. I'm making sure the details are fine. I've invited them to an assessment day. We've completed the assessment day, so I'm going to complete this task. Let's hit close activity. Let's hit close. So it's going to close that task in there. And then I'm going to change the application status to offer sent. So let's hit save there. And what you'll notice again with some automation, it's going to automatically email the applicant just to say, we've sent you an offer, and you can attach, documents and other bits and pieces to that offer that's specific or unique to that individual. You've obviously got lots of different types of statuses in here. So you've got unconditional or a conditional offer, and then you can log kind of what they need to do in order to be accepted on that, unconditional or conditional offer. So let's hit save. Let's see if it refreshes. And what it's going to do is email the individual. Brilliant. So you can see I changed the status to offer sent, and what it's done here is automatically email that individual, Brian, to say, congratulations, we sent you an offer. Here's some information. Please, can you get back to us? Once Brian's checked over that information as the end user or the applicant, they're going to have lots of emails coming in. They've been to the opening day. They've received an introduction email to ensure that they're aware that this is being worked on. They've now just received an offer. What we're going to do now is accept the offer. So we're going to say Brian's come back to us. He's accepted the offer, and we are going to change it to offer accepted. So bottom right hand side, I'm just going to hit save. And notice what this would do is it's going to deactivate the record. So it's going to archive the record. And let's just give it another refresh. When I navigate to the contact in the system, it's going to go and update Brian as a contact with some information. So let's just make sure that that's saved. And then what I'm going to do is just navigate away from Brian once this kicks into motion. And I will show you what the record, yeah, there you go, just took a tiny bit of time to kick in. So now the record has been archived in the back of the system. So the admissions process in effect has been finalized. We've sent them some information about accepting the admission into the system. We've erased appointments. We've checked over the information they've captured in here. We've sent them an offer, which they've then received and then accepted back in the system. We then changed the status to offer accepted. And what that's done now is archive the individual record. And what will happen now if I navigate away from this? If I click on Brian, it's going to go away and update that contact in the system. So you notice here it's updated the current academic period, and it's also changed the student status to accepted. So from that process, from initial submission right the way through to closure, you can see it's done its job. We've captured all the information that we need, and we can report on that accordingly. So moving away from that, I just wanted to touch on the dashboards. So again, coming back to the applications administrator within the university, they're going to want a nice, concise way to view this information in the system. And what we've done is pre-configure a dashboard that they can dive into just to look at information about applications that are there. Again, you can customize these to your heart's content. They're very, very easy to do. And again, another beautiful thing about this application is they're quick to spin up, and you can have individual ones for individual teams, or you can have them for managers, or even higher than that, depending on what information you want to see in the system. So you can see here's just a simple dashboard that we've created based on some of the admissions that are in the system. You can see there's some by academic period, by application status. So you can see, you know, in progress, offer sent, unconditional, and let's move that to the side. And then you've got submitted as well. And what we could do is navigate away from this by clicking on the ellipsis. So let's go view records. That's going to take me back to the admissions screen, and then I can dive into the information that relates to these individual sectors within Dynamics 365. So it allows you in real time to manipulate that data. It's really, really good. So let's just go back to dashboards. Let's go back to my, you can see there's lots of other system dashboards in here. So I'm just going to go back to my admissions dashboard. So yeah, you can see that that was the chart that we just dived into. On the right hand side, you've got some active admissions in the system. So this is by course, and then you can see how many admissions are associated to those individual courses. So you've got art, history, there's only one, you've got photography. On the right hand side, you've got active courses in the system, so you can go in there and start adding new courses, and you can quickly at a glance see, you know, the active courses and other information in there. If I scroll down, you've got my view that I was talking about at the start of the demo, where you can see admissions submitted within the last 7 days. I can click into that, and I can also see, you know, other information about other admissions that are sitting in there. And if I scroll right down to the bottom, you can also see offer sent status. So yeah, you can start breaking down that information in real time, and then you can manipulate it as you see fit. So in terms of what I wanted to show you today, that is everything. What we went through was, let's just go back to my slides. So what we did is to show you how the UCAS information kind of comes into Dynamics 365 and where it sits in a queue. From a applications administrator perspective, picking up that UCAS application or admission within Dynamics 365, managing that, showing you the automation behind it, the type of information that it's capturing, and then at the end, showing you how it kind of transitions from that closure or the acceptance of the admission to move over to a student at the university, and then you can manage the rest of it from the application that way. So let's, and we also talked about the insights as well.
Can I just add something, David, if you don't mind? It's Donna here from pre-sales team in ANS as well. So obviously what David's shown you is how we are managing the admissions process through to enrolment. But what we've also been speaking to lots of universities about is the marketing activities that happens in parallel to this. So what you're able to do in Dynamics 365 is build out that entire end-to-end process in Dynamics, but then you can use the marketing capabilities to then segment all of that data and create your automated student and applicant journeys so that you can automate all of your communications out to them with all of your branded email templates, do all of your segmentation, and really get full insights into exactly what's happening through your recruitment and admissions processes.
Absolutely. So that comes to the end of what I wanted to present to everyone. Has anyone got any questions?
Thank you, David. Thank you. I've been handling the questions as they come up and trying to do my best to answer them. However, just one of the things that everybody talks about is what happens now. So just to let you know, we'll be sending out the recordings out in some follow-up emails next week. And be sure, please do let us know whether you found this valuable. And what you thought of it, and obviously there's a whole series of account managers in ANS who look after the higher education sector. If you want to know some more details or anything else, then please get in touch with your account manager. Just finally, one last thing. Is there any more questions? I know Donna's now taken over answering them as well. So
So just to go through that question I was just answering there. So someone asked if we can accept direct applications as well. So for example, what we're doing for Teddy is we're allowing them to take the feeds in from UCAS and all of the updates in from UCAS, but also we're providing a self-service portal and access from their website. So students can go to the Teddy website and submit an application and then they can log into a self-service portal to track the status of their application as it goes through the process. So we can either link with your existing websites, we can create a web form for you for direct applications, and we can also bring it in from UCAS.
I think, Donna, I think Laura's come up with the next suggestion for another webinar around marketing segmentation and the marketing journey.
Yeah, that's we definitely need to do something on that around the marketing piece. Okay, so we'll leave it there for today. So if you've got any questions on the specific accelerator that we've built, David's got his email on the screen there. If you want to see some more videos of the lovely Donna and David, you can go on our YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe. I think that's the correct terminology. But from us here at ANS, thank you very much for joining us, and have a good rest of your day.
Thanks, everyone.